Hey all you cool cats and kittens, let's get started. So today I want to make some pre-made spices. So I want to make some Italian seasoning, some chili seasoning, beef seasoning, taco seasoning, and poultry seasoning. And these are all just going to be like pre-made mixes that I make so that I don't have to buy those like packets at the store or those like plastic pre-mixed spices. So I want to fill these all up with what I already have in my pantry, and then afterwards I want to go through my spice pantry and replenish everything and do a reorganization of everything because it's kind of gotten a little messy. I have a lot of empty spices and I just need to organize this area in general. So this is just a closet in our like office right off of the kitchen. We're doing a major kitchen renovation slowly but surely. So this was the best option to keep most of our dry goods. I want to fill all my empty ones, and I'm trying to keep a system where I'm switching over to all this style of jar with a black label on it. So these are just simply organic spices that I take the labels off and like wash them out and then put the black label on. But some spices I don't hold as much of, so I'd like this to be like my second tier one. I've been collecting these so that I have enough to replace like random size containers like this Old Bay seasoning container, and like when we buy stuff off of like Thrive Market. I'm gonna make these pre-made seasonings and then fill up all my empty ones and try to reorganize this and create more bottles to replenish. All right, so this is the before. I want to first grind up some peppercorns because I'm gonna need pepper for a lot of these recipes and I'm not gonna be sitting here grinding the whole time. And then also when I was at the bulk store, they didn't have any ground turmeric, so I'm gonna try grinding this turmeric I found there. And I'm gonna do the peppercorns first because I know from using turmeric before that if you get it on your hands or anywhere, it stains your hands. And I'm just assuming when I blend it in the blender, it's gonna stay in the blender and be a hassle to clean up. All right, let's try grinding in here. I haven't done this before. I always see Becky from Acre Homestead do this. So that's only my only frame of reference for doing this. It always works for her, so let's try it. It's like taking forever. I think there's still like a lot of peppercorns in here. So, but I'm just gonna keep blending it until I don't see any little balls like popping up in the air. I'm scared to open this. Looks pretty ground. Alright, I want to do a little bit longer. Alright, I turned up the speed on that one. Yeah, it looks really ground now. Okay, I probably should have had a higher speed from the beginning so it didn't take as long. But we got it. We got it. Alright, and now I need to go get a little jar to pour this in. Alright, I think it'll fit in this jar. Woo! Okay, so I got this. I have to get a ring for it still, but I got this for my recipes. I'm just gonna try to wipe this out with my towel and try not to sneeze. Blake's in the office over there and they can smell the pepper over there. Becky never mentions that in her videos. What the hell, Becky? I love Becky. And I'm just gonna, so I wiped this out and I'm just gonna use this towel throughout the process of doing all this and keep everything dry, not rinse anything off because gonna take forever if I go that route. So let's blend up this turmeric and see what happens. We use turmeric in like Indian stuff, and like say we make like tofu, eggs, use it for that. It doesn't really have much of a taste. It's more about adding color and like the health benefits of it. Hopefully someday we can grow our own. That'd be cool. All right. Okay, that was a really unpleasant noise. Who would have thought? All right, I think I just need to do it a little bit more on a really high speed. So I got that all blended up. I want to get this out of the Vitamix as soon as possible and into some hot water. So I don't want my Vitamix to get stained. Because like I said, this stuff is very pigmented. It should be an eyeshadow palette color for real. All right, so I got the turmeric and it fits great in the jar. So now we're ready to start making our pre-mixed seasonings. Yeah, so this did end up staining my blender. Yeah, it left a big yellow ring around it. So I looked up a couple methods online. One said that you can leave it out in the sun for a couple days and that can get the color out. And then another said to pour vinegar at the bottom. So I think I'm going to pour vinegar in this, and then I'm going to leave it in the sunlight for a couple days and see if that goes away. I'll give you an update and see if it worked or not. So I would not do this again. I wouldn't blend turmeric in my blender. Okay, so first one I want to make is Italian seasoning. So to make this one, you need basil, oregano, rosemary. I gotta make a label still for this one. Marjoram, and thyme. Before I start mixing those all together, I want to first pour out my old Italian seasoning into a side bowl where I can either put some of this on top of the new stuff so that I use the old stuff first, or just toss this because people don't realize, but spices have not the longest shelf life. I'm gonna dump that out into a bowl on the side. So first thing I need is basil, and I need 1 cup of this. I like these containers because you can just easily take the little cap off. That's why I've been trying to build up my collection of those. Okay, 1 cup. All right. I'm gonna need 1 cup of oregano. And then this oregano, we grew this outside ourselves. We have like wild oregano growing in some places, and we also have some oregano growing in our like herb circle section of the garden. Ooh, I see like some purple oregano flakes in this. It's pretty. All right, so that's roughly 1 cup. A half a cup of rosemary. I'm just gonna use the same measuring cup because there's lines inside of it where you can see how much is in there. And I have Blake grind up rosemary because usually when you buy rosemary places, it's it's not ground up. And I like the taste of ground up more in my stuff than big like pieces of rosemary. So that's half cup going in. All right, and then marjoram. I need a 1/4 cup of marjoram. I just got this at the store. And I need to create a bottle for this because I haven't had this on hand before. Okay. 1/4 cup marjoram. And then 1/4 cup of thyme. And that's probably gonna use all of this. Yeah. All right, go in. And then I just want to mix this up as best I can. Okay, so I got this funnel, and I'm going to put it in my Italian seasoning jar from earlier. Thank God for the invention of funnels. I'm already a pretty messy person. Without this, even worse. And how I gathered the measurements for this was through Chat GPT. So I'd look up a recipe for Italian seasoning like this, and I would say to Chat GPT, take this recipe and turn it into 2 cups, because this jar is roughly 2 cups. And they would do it and give me the new recipe to equal 2 cups. So that's how I figured out the measurements of this. 1 spice down. All right, next I'm gonna make poultry seasoning. So first I'm gonna need sage, need thyme, marjoram, rosemary, nutmeg, just a little bit, and pepper that we grinded up earlier. This is sage that we grew, I'm fairly certain, and we should have a lot in back stock. This sage tastes really good in mock pork recipes. Yeah, and like chicken recipes, of course, and stuff. It's really nice. I'm gonna need 1/4 cup of thyme. Okay. A 1/2 cup of marjoram. And I'm gonna put all the recipes to these in the description below. Rosemary. And again, I don't want to get the grinder out, but I'm just gonna kind of crush this. I got this at the co-op and it's the big pieces like I've talked about before. It's not a huge deal that they're big chunks, but I prefer ground up. 1/2 cup of rosemary. Basically all of this. Okay, don't know if I'll have more to replenish my shelf with, but I'll get some at a different store. Toss that in. 1/4 cup of nutmeg. I think I'm gonna do a little less nutmeg. I'm not the hugest warm spice person, so I'll do like a 1/8. It's a nice thing about recipes, you can modify to your taste. And then 1/4 of pepper. Alrighty. And again, I'm gonna mix this up. I'm gonna kind of crush up the rosemary chunks as I mix this. This one, again, I did Chat GPT to figure out the measurements for all of these. And it seems like they like miscalculate to where there's like 3 tablespoons left over of the first 2 I've made so far. So, all right. So we got our poultry seasoning. Okay, now let's make beef seasoning. So for this, I'm gonna need black pepper, paprika, garlic powder, onion powder, mustard powder, oregano, and red pepper. So first I'm gonna do the black pepper. 1.5 cups of black pepper. And I haven't made beef seasoning before, so I'm curious what I'm going to use this for. I think I'll probably make like tofu crumble, or I might use it to make like a beef broth for like ramen or something maybe. I don't know, I'm gonna see like what applications I use this for. Then I'm gonna need 2 cups of paprika. 1, 2. All right. 1 cup of garlic powder. Damn it. It's okay. Oh yeah. This is making way too much. Chat GPT! Okay, Chat GPT really messed this up. So I don't know what happened. I don't know why it doubled it so much, and I'm dumb and just started doing it. So now I have like 4 things of beef seasoning that I don't even know if I'm gonna use that much of. Great. But I guess I'll finish. No, this is crazy. This uses way too much. Damn. Okay, so yeah, that got messed up. But I'm just gonna take 1 cup of what I did make, because I want this to equal 2 cups. So I'm gonna put 1 cup in this, or maybe like 1.5 of that. And then I'm gonna add the other ingredients and do like way less. So I'm gonna use the rest of this onion, or sorry, I'm gonna use the rest of this mustard powder in here. And I'm gonna do like a 1/2 cup of oregano. I'll put the correct recipe in the description, but yeah, AI, they say they're gonna take all our jobs. Well, they can't even get calculating a recipe right, so I don't think so. So 1/2 cup of that. Like a 1/4 cup of red pepper flakes. All right, let's try that. Maybe my mess up will make this taste incredible. All right, now I'm gonna put this in my beef jar. Now looky there. This filled up perfect when I just calculate things in my head. Technology sucks. So, okay, so here's my beef seasoning. So next I'm gonna make a chili seasoning. So this will come in handy a lot because Blake is the designated chili maker in our house. And this will just make their life easier by not having to get a bunch of spices out when they wanna make a batch of chili. So for this recipe, you're gonna need chili powder, cumin, cayenne, garlic powder, onion powder, and pepper. 1 cup of this. And then I'm gonna need 2/3 cup of cumin. All right. 1, 2.5. Okay. There you go. And 2.5 tablespoons of garlic powder. 1/3 cup of onion powder. It gets everywhere. All right, and then the pepper, 1/3 cup. All right, perfect actually. Put that in there. Now mix this up. So we got the chili jar, and I'm gonna pour this in here. All right, there we have it. All right, so this is where we ended up today. We got the taco seasoning, the Italian seasoning, the poultry seasoning, the chili seasoning, the beef seasoning, and then this guy. So before I fill my back stock of spices, I'm gonna go ahead and water my overwintered pepper plants. So I have a red pepper plant, another red pepper, a poblano, and a rainbow jalapeno plant. And these were in our garden last year. And what we did is at the end of the season, we dug them out and then hosed off the roots, like you hosed off all the dirt off of the plant, and where you only have like a root ball at the bottom. And then I went ahead and planted it up in new potting soil, and then put them in these pots. And I've been having them sit in our basement all winter, and I've had to water them maybe not very often. I've only watered these like 2 other times. So I'm gonna water these again, and they look like they're still alive. This one has like new growth on it, and they hardly, they don't get like any light. Like I have them, so our basement is unfinished and I have them sitting on the stairs, and I have them on the stairs because our basement has heat in the basement, but it's only like 50 degrees, only enough so that like none of our pipes burst or anything. So I have them sitting on the steps so that they're kind of closer to excuse me. I have them sitting on the steps so they're kind of closer to our heated above living area. There's a window in like there's windows in the basement, but there's no windows next to the stairs at all. So the fact that it's like still getting growth from like such low ambient lighting is encouraging that this might work. They look fairly green still. I'm not really sure, like, because with pepper plants, they do get like woody on the bottom. Like that's typical. So they have gotten like woody coming up a little bit too, but they're still like green at the ends. So I don't know, I'm gonna keep up with watering these until like a couple weeks past the last frost date, and then put them in the ground and see if they perform good. And if this does work out, I'll be saving a lot more pepper plants from the next year's garden and overwintering them again as well. Let me go ahead and water these. Alright, so after making all those spices, I'm going to go through and try to refill what I can. And I'm going to make some labels for new jars, or just if I need to reorganize anything. And I think I'm going to fill this jar up with cane sugar, and I'm going to fill this jar up with some cashews and put labels on these. Making these like pre-made spices are a real time saver for me while I'm cooking. Because when I'm reading a recipe or making something up, sometimes I just want like a pre-made thing where I can say, okay, I want a pasta that has like Italian seasoning in it. I can just grab that real quick and do it. But if I didn't have this pre-made, I'd have to eat all these spices individually and bring it over to my stove and dump each thing with a measuring spoon and be meticulous about it. But this way is nice, so I don't have to put away as many ingredients at the end of the cooking process. Okay, I got everything replenished. This is where everything ended up. Not everything's completely full, but I got some labels made for ones I needed to put labels on. So yeah. So this is a before and this is an after. So I still want to like paint these shelves and put like different labels on them, but it's roughly the same as what I had it before. Like I put them all in the same spots, I mean. So yeah, I got all my bigger jars and I got all the labels on them, and I have my main spices right here and spicy seasonings. These are all like these are backstock ones, like bigger versions of some of the smaller ones that I use the most. And then also the poultry and Italian ones that we created. And then we have like couple salts and seeds and warm spices. And yeah, so this is where it ended up. I think it's way better than it was before. It's more clean and organized, and I'll be able to grab things a lot faster. All right, thanks for hanging out with me today. I'll see you next time, and make sure you keep it spicy.